It's July 7th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a beloved fairy tale with dark origins, a heroine finally cleared long after the flames had died, and an execution that made history for all the wrong reasons. Let's begin. On July 7, 1881, a wooden puppet stepped onto the page for the very first time. His name was Pinocchio, but it's not the cheerful fairy tale most people know today. In an Italian children's magazine, the author Carlo Collodi introduced a far darker version of the story. This Pinocchio was wild, cruel, and almost impossible to control. Moments after he was carved, he attacked Geppetto, and when talking to a cricket, he tried to warn him about the dangers of disobedience, and Pinocchio silenced him. The story grew darker, and in the original ending, Pinocchio's reckless choices finally caught up with him. The fox and the cat, pretending to be his friend, turned on him. After trying to steal from him, they left the puppet hanging from a tree at night. And it ended with one chilling line: he was a dead puppet. Young readers were horrified. The magazine demanded the story continue, so they brought Pinocchio back. Only then did the blue fairy appear, transforming the grim cautionary tale into a strange redemption story we know today. The original Pinocchio was less cute wooden boy and more child's horror story with a moral lesson. On July 7, 1456, Joan of Arc won a trial she could no longer attend. 25 years earlier, she had been condemned as a heretic. A teenage girl who claimed she heard heavenly voices was judged, disgraced, and erased from the very court that was supposed to be seeking truth. But her family never stopped fighting. Her mother and her brothers spent years begging the church to reopen the case, and then in 1455, Pope Calixtus III ordered a new investigation. This time, the court listened. More than 100 witnesses came forward. Soldiers recalled a young woman who'd led armies. Even clerics connected to the original trial were questioned again. And what the court uncovered was damning. Joan's first trial had been poisoned by corruption, pressure, and broken legal rules. She had been denied the fairness she should have been given. So, the church declared the old verdict null and void. Joan of Arc was cleared, but her ashes were already gone. On July 7, 1865, Mary Surratt became the first woman ever executed by the United States federal government. Her name was tied to one of the darkest crimes in American history, the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. In Washington, D.C., Surratt owned a boarding house on H Street. To outsiders, it looked like an ordinary place to rent a room, but according to prosecutors, it had become something far more dangerous, a meeting place for John Wilkes Booth and the men connected to his deadly conspiracy. She was accused of helping the plot by arranging supplies and weapons for the conspirators. She was tried before a military commission alongside Lewis Powell, David Harold, and George Atzerodt. But even then, the case against her was clouded in doubt. 5 of the 9 military judges recommended mercy because the evidence of her involvement was uncertain. But still, President Andrew Johnson refused to spare her. Some historians believe she was condemned not for what she may have known, but authorities hoped her son, John Surratt, would surrender. Her story remains one of the unsettling shadows left behind by Lincoln's assassination. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next Eerie dose is just a day away.